Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and today I'm talking about something that I guess is kind of important, and it's weird that I don't think it's ever come up before in one of my videos. Not that I can remember at least. And that is how to turn around a bad game. Because we all have moments where things aren't going our way, or we're playing badly, and we're on the cusp of a rage episode, which will only cause your performance to dip even more. So today I'll outline some of the processes and strategies that I employ for just such a scenario. And I'll frame all of this by applying it to a game where I started off badly and finished somewhat strongly on 36 kills and 19 deaths, and a place in the top 10 for my team. When this could have in fact been one of those games where a lot of people, maybe some of you guys, would just lose their cool and have an absolutely awful result or simply turn the game off. Now, I had someone ask me reasonably recently if I ever have bad games, because to them it seemed like I'm always destroying. I believe those were the words they used, and realistically I do pretty well at the game, but obviously there have to be bad moments as well, just like everybody else. Look at it this way: if I have a 3.2 KD and you've seen me have double-digit KD games, then I also have to have those games that pull my average back down, right? That's basic mathematics. And so I can share with you a match I had where I suffered an awful start, and obviously it just had to happen while I was playing on Dameover's stream, you know, just so people could witness my suffering and supposed poor performance. So let's talk about how I turned it around to pull out at least a respectable final result. We were in an operations game, and it was on Montegrappa, which is already bad news because this is one of, if not my least favorite map. I absolutely despise it, and it's been the scene of some of my worst games on Battlefield 1. Now, fairly on in this match, I was sitting on, what you saw before, 1 kill and 6 deaths, and halfway down the leaderboard. This became 6 kills and 10 deaths a little later on, having climbed a little higher up the board, before reaching 10 kills and 11 deaths, which gave me the platform to then draw level on a neutral KD and being able to push on to being in the positive and continuing to climb the leaderboard. So yep, I got off to a super rough start. It does occasionally happen to everyone, not just you, and at certain points I was getting kind of frustrated. And why was I frustrated? Well, let's just call it the usual reason. And I did have my complaints, and Dame and I talked about Muromets and planes in general at some length during this game, but I tried to keep at least a somewhat level head. I tried to laugh when I could and just soldiered on. And the first thing of real note that I did was pull out the Burton LMR to try to deal with some of the planes. Now, I didn't actually take one down, but I did something of merit. I switched things up, and I at least contributed towards the Muromets' eventual demise. This is a big point. I looked at what the immediate problem was and then tried to find a solution whilst helping my team. So I benefit, and so does everyone else. Don't just keep throwing your head at the wall and not changing your tactics. Think about what you could do to improve the situation. I know some of you have seen me stick it out with one specific loadout in certain videos regardless of how things are going, but you need to remember that I'm trying to create specific content. You can use anything that you wish, and even I sometimes have to switch things up, as you've just seen, even when I'm trying to collect certain content. So make sure that you do adapt to the map and adapt to the situation. And this was a strategy that I employed throughout the rest of the match. I kept looking at what was needed and switched my loadout accordingly. This led me to temporarily pull out my sniper fairly quickly after selecting the Burton, and I started to kick on a little bit. The map was so rangy and the enemy had so many snipers of their own, so it seemed like a good idea. And this switch also allowed me to pick up a couple of nice kills that I just otherwise wouldn't have had, so staying cool and using my brain benefited me in picking up a nice little clip as well. Something else I find helpful is simplifying things and not looking too far ahead. When things are going badly, your KD is being destroyed, and you're not picking up many points, break things down into small sections. Focus on the next kill and the next objective, or the next choke points, the next area you want to take hold of, whatever it may be. Make sure you're being helpful and working for the team. This can also help to keep you calm. You maintain focus and rely on logic. Each spawn is a fresh opportunity to make something happen, even just something small, like holding down a certain lane or providing covering fire for your squad. This allows you to make sure you're being useful even if you're having a bad game. So be certain you aren't forgetting to use your gadgets because you're tilted. They're a great source of points, and they can be integral to the success of those around you, not just your own. Keep your allies healed and resupplied, keep the enemies spotted, and take out those vehicles. And when it comes to kills, try to focus on getting that KD back to a healthy point, whether that's, you know, close to neutral or neutral, rather than thinking about hitting your usual average if it's over a 1 KD. Once you've got to an even position, you can start totaling up those kills again to go positive. All the while, you can be contributing to the team by doing the little things I just mentioned. Work for your team, use your gadgets, and just make sure you're being helpful. You'll often slowly be able to push your way back up the scoreboard by doing this. So essentially, a lot of what I'm saying comes down to maintaining a level head as much as you can. A lot of it sounds like common sense, and that's because it is, but it can be a lot harder to employ common sense in the heat of the moment. I may have said something along the lines of I can't take it after the 7th or 8th plane death of this round, because it really was a super frustrating match in a map that I actively dislike. But I kept going and tried to let the moment pass quickly. So when I did get taken out, I actively started stopping myself from instantly respawning because I was mad. Instead, I had a look, a little wait, to see if medics were nearby. Don't rush things because you're tilted. Don't just feed the enemy kills and then waste tickets by respawning instantly. Stay calm and keep going. And you know what? This time, we even won the match. So everything worked out well in the end. And then perhaps most importantly, win or lose, don't take the negativity of a bad match into the next one. Dust yourself off, let it go, and start afresh. I sincerely hope some of this helps you out, whether it be knowing that everyone struggles sometimes, or if you're able to employ some of the pointers to improve a bad game. If you did enjoy the video, a like rating would be very much appreciated, as would a subscription if you're new here. And as YouTube is just so bad at providing people with videos from their subscriptions, turn on those notifications with the bell button so you miss out less often. Now let's go over to the Board of Awesome for the epic people who make videos like this possible by supporting the channel on Patreon. That Patreon support gives me the time to make as many videos as I do and spend as much time on each one as I do, because otherwise I'd need another job. So thank you so very much to everybody on here. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, the link to the Patreon page is in the description and in my pinned comment. And with that all said, I'm GetGoodGuy and I'll see you next time. Laters.